Excellent. As we could just sit here for a few hours and watch traffic go by.
Yes.
The roads out there. We're parked at the end of the parking lot. You know what I like about this movie? Is that this is the first zombie movie I can think of, unless I'm forgetting like one of the Italian ones, where the whole zombie epidemic happens because of a mishap involving Roadhead. See, you gotta be careful. I thought the most tragic Roadhead I saw was in World According to Garp. No, it was tragic, yeah, but it didn't involve a zombie outbreak.
It's a cautionary tale for everybody out there. If you're going to give Roadhead, you might want to pull over. Yeah,
you might cause Las Vegas to fall. And it was pretty good. That's the opening scene, and I liked what they did after that too. Like the whole opening credit sequence that it did. Mm-hmm. Like I just like when movies have opening credit sequences now anyway. Yeah. And this one was like its own short film, kind of. Like, that's covering quite a while from this outbreak happening in Las Vegas to a lot of survivors getting out and fighting zombies, and you see a lot of our main characters amongst them as the credits are playing, and it's playing Viva Las Vegas, and there's different emotions all throughout it. Like, there's funny parts in it, and there were, like, when the song goes slower and everything, there were more tragic things happening. And then it was a cool way to set up the characters and to also show that, and I like this, that it is about a zombie outbreak that happens, but they do contain it in this movie, as opposed to a lot of them you see where, well, that's the end of the world.
Right, yeah.
In this, they have it contained to
Las Vegas.
Which means heist.
Heist.
Heist, bro. The movie's Ocean's 11 meets George Romero's Land of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder. But more in like, it's more like Snyder's Dawn of the Dead style of Zack Snyder. It doesn't, like, you can tell it's him in regards to comparing it to that remake that he did, more so than a lot of the kind of style that he's been kind of doing a lot, that he usually does a lot, whether it's his DC movies, whether it's 300 or Sucker Punch or one of those. This is more like a throwback to something like his version of Dawn of the Dead. I don't know, I had a really good time at this movie.
Yeah?
I did.
Because you laughed at a lot of weird things, and I was just kind of like, I don't think you liked it.
No, I laughed, and I was genuinely laughing.
Oh, like you were having a good time.
When that head fell off of the building, that was one of the funniest scenes involving a severed head. I absolutely think that was supposed to be funny.
Oh, okay.
With that thing just dropping on the sidewalk.
I mean, it wasn't supposed to be like sad or anything. It was just like, you know,
I thought it was a funny sight gag.
Okay.
And I liked the effects in the movie.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gore in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they did a really, really good job at that. And with it, the movie is about they got to go into Vegas they're hired to steal a bunch of money. Yep. And there's a couple of them there's a couple characters that you know are going to die. Like, there's a couple of asshole characters where it's like, okay, well, eventually this person's gonna get it. Eventually this person's gonna get it.
Yeah. Aside
from that, the collection of characters that they have, which I thought Zack Snyder seems like a really good dude. His movies usually I'm about 50-50 with him. There's some I like a lot and others not so much. I thought he did a lot better with character in this than sometimes he does, because the group of characters that they have, you figure some of them are going to die, but most you're not sure, except for the couple of assholes.
Right.
Other than that, it's like any one of these could really make it out or die. There was one in particular I thought was really shocking. Like, I don't know if you heard me go, oh shit! That I don't want to give anything away, but there was one character that one death happens pretty quick.
Right.
You know what I mean now?
Yeah.
Like, That one was like, that took me aback. I was like, okay, you got me on that one. And with it being in Vegas, there's tigers, there's zombie tigers. Siegfried and Roy's tiger is a zombie in this film.
Yeah.
And it's a zombie tiger that still sometimes just kind of acts like a cat. Like, like a tiger. There's one death scene involving the tiger that's pretty cool. But one other part where he's just kind of stretching out across a car like Lloyd.
Right.
Like, well, if Lloyd was a zombie, he'd eat me. But he'd stretch out for a little while at some point and do like a cat yawn. What did you think of the zombies in the movie?
I'm not sure how to take the kind of World War Z style moving that the zombies did. You know, I'm usually subscribed to the notion that zombies are slow moving, like lurking and everything, and this movie was, like I said, the World War Z style, where they're like running at like breakneck speed. And
yeah, I've got no problem with that. Like anymore, like there's just different types of zombies and there's so many zombie movies now.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 zombie movies a year. So I'm fine with a movie taking it in whatever direction that they want to take it.
Yeah.
What this movie does different with them is it's not exactly like his running zombies from his version of Dawn of the Dead. Mm-hmm. But the zombies have this like hierarchy in this film where there's like trade negotiations involving offering a rapist as a human sacrifice. There's a king and queen, and they're smart enough to have, or the king is at least smart. This I thought was cool. I'm like, that's kind of clever how he had this like facial mask helmet, because they still die from getting shot in the head. And he's got this mask helmet thing that's like bulletproof. I like that guy.
I did too.
It's like you're looking at like the rage zombies, the fast moving zombies, crossed with the ghosts of Mars in Las Vegas. Where, again, heist.
Okay, can we talk about the heist element for a minute there?
Yeah.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
No, not really. I saw the first season.
Okay. So there is an episode in season 4.
Yeah.
And I just looked up the title. So look this up later. It's called One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty.
Okay. I get the reference.
Yeah. Okay. It is literally... here's the thing. Zack Snyder obviously missed this episode too, because it literally makes fun of everything that this movie does.
Sure.
I mean...
Are you going to say this movie is bad because you watched a Rick and Morty episode?
Well, to be fair, you do have to be really intellectual to get Rick and Morty.
Quick sidetrack. I'm so sorry. Now every time I hear that, I think about when Laura first discovered that. This was back in Springfield. And I was sitting at the computer. She was on Facebook, and there's someone she went to high school with who posted that. She doesn't look at memes, really. She definitely doesn't watch Rick and Morty. But I've seen the first season. I like the first season. I just didn't watch it beyond that. She saw that. I hear her in the other room go, "Oh my God." She thought her friend, like, legit put that meme on there. She's like, "Listen to this asshole who I went to school with, this pretentious dick bag."
Oh, that's
great. And she reads it as soon as she said, "To be fair," I knew exactly where this was going. I was like, that's a meme. She's like, "Oh, thank God." No, yeah, the movie does do, if you're watching anything that is involving parodying heists, I mean, it is a heist movie, so you're going to see a lot of similar things that go in.
I mean, okay, so the thing is, though, this movie this episode touches on everything this movie does, including Morty pitches a heist movie to Netflix.
And it was about zombies?
No, but heist. Like I said, I'm focusing on the heist element of the movie, not the zombies.
Right.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say I didn't like the movie all that much, but I will say that, this movie did everything all the way up to I'm in.
It does. It does do that. When I say it's Ocean's 11 meets Land of the Dead,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
You need to build a team.
Yeah, but I liked the character. 99% of the characters.
Sure, same.
I'll get to one thing in a bit. But I was enjoying this team. I liked their setup. I liked that they all had their own individual moments. There weren't a lot of really throwaway characters among them.
Yeah.
And I saw, because I was thinking about something else when I was watching this too. Last year, I saw a movie. It was the sequel to Train to Busan. It was called Peninsula, that was about stealing money during a zombie invasion. That movie wasn't that good. This one's a lot better. Okay. They're connected in that way in the loosest of senses. Like the execution and everything is wildly different in both movies. This I thought I would say is one of Zack Snyder's best movies. There's issues I have with it. It's long. It's too long.
Yeah.
Like it is, which I hesitate to say because it's technically 90 minutes shorter than the last Zack Snyder movie we saw.
It's not saying much. That's not saying much.
Yeah. There's sequences where you could tell it could be trimmed. There are some parts where certain plot points and developments kind of stretch out a little bit.
Exactly.
And some things could be tightened.
Agreed.
There was one character I hated in this movie. I just hated. I hated the fact that this character was there. I hated everything about this character's plot line, and that was the daughter. I couldn't stand this character.
Yeah.
From right when she joins this, because she knows someone who's stuck in Vegas.
Yeah.
And she says to Dave Bautista, like, I'm going with you. Like, no, you're not. Like, yes, I'm going with you. I'm on his side. I'm like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're going into this zombie wasteland here, and I've got to lead this group of people. So now you're asking me to be distracted because I have to simultaneously keep an eye on my daughter and keep her from running off and doing her rescue mission, which she up and says she'll probably do at some point. Just go off on her own. And so when that set up, I was like, do what you can to keep this character out of this situation, because this character is setting up to just mess everything up. But I was going, maybe it'll prove me wrong. Maybe I'll totally be proven wrong on this. Maybe she'll prove to be useful. There are a couple scenes she has with Bautista, not that she's useful, but some scenes she has with Bautista where he's really good. I mean, he's good throughout this whole movie. He's great in this film. His scenes with her, he's very good. And it's not even that her acting is bad. This has nothing to do with her acting. It is just the character and its place in this movie. And I was not proven wrong. This character just messes everything up through this, gets people killed, goes off, screws around, gets trapped. They have to rescue her when there's this nuclear weapon hours from hitting the city.
Not even hours.
It's less than that. It's less than that.
Yeah.
And so, okay, they have to go and rescue her from doing her thing, which proves to be completely pointless. It gets people killed. What a useless character.
I agree.
Just that whole thing could be cut from this film.
I agree.
And it is a major issue that I have with it. I still really like this movie a lot. I do. I am absolutely recommending this movie. That whole thing could have been cut. It was like, it's weird because it's like Zack Snyder took the Joss Whedon Justice League Rescue the Family segment that he cut out of Zack Snyder's Justice League and then put in this film. Weird. But again, there's good acting amongst a lot of the scenes with her and Dave Bautista. There's things in the ending that I like. Some of it you just got to accept, like, well, this is this movie's version of nuclear weapons. So, okay, fine. Like, one song choice can make all the difference in the world and make you kind of like where the movie's going.
Yeah.
And that movie's got a good soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have that issue with the daughter, too, through this movie?
I did. No,
Yeah.
you're right. No, I completely agree with everything you're saying about the daughter.
Yeah.
There was a lot of it. There was even a point in toward the end where I asked you a very good question,
and I thought it was going to be answered. I don't think it. Yeah, pointless.
Absolutely.
Pointless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could take that character out.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could. But the other characters are great. Like, Tig Notaro is very good in this movie. The German safecracker, they overdo the joke with his scream a little too much in this. It's funny the first couple times, and then it kind of wears thin when they do it after that. But I liked him. Would you recommend the movie?
I mean, it's going to be on Netflix next week, so yeah, maybe.
I would recommend seeing it in theaters.
You would?
I would,
okay.
Yeah. I thought it was really fun to see on a big screen. And I just like going to movie theaters better anyway.
True.
I do.
Yeah.
I like going to movie theaters to watch a movie and hang out in the car and talk about it afterwards. I like going to see movies on the big screen.
I guess that's true. I mean, now that the pandemic is winding down and theaters are back, it'd be a good time to.
Yeah. That being said, if I thought the movie was bad, I wouldn't still say go see it in the theaters. This movie sucks. Well, actually, I have said that before. If a movie's hilariously bad, yes, go see it. Like Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas or something. Terrible? Yes. Should you pay full price? Absolutely.
So what letter grade are you falling on?
I wish I could get... because I do think this is one of his best movies. There's things I absolutely love about this movie. Mm-hmm. There is. It's really just some of the stuff I thought could have been cut or trimmed that makes me go for... a really, 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 really high B+. I think this will be something later where you ask me, like, what do I give it? I'll probably say something higher, because there'll be a lot of things about this that I love that I'll take with me more so than the stuff that I'm criticizing it about. Yeah. But I really, really, really did enjoy this movie. Yeah. But just some of those issues could have been trimmed and just weren't. That whole thing with the daughter was just not a good addition to this movie. So yeah, I'll give it a very high B+.
Very high B+. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go for a C.
Yeah. So you just thought this was average?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are there any other issues you had with the movie other than its length?
Heist cliches. Yeah, length and heist cliches, I guess. I mean, there's a long list of heist cliches, but yeah. But yeah, I think that's got to be about the extent of my issues. Is just, yeah.
I didn't have a problem with the heist cliches because those I'm like, well, I don't know how else you would do a movie like this, like without at least some of that.
Well.
Because you need to establish all the characters, what they're hired to do, the job that they need to do. I thought that this movie did its cliches better than, and I like Spiral, but it did these cliches better and more refreshing than the cop cliches that Spiral did.
Really?
Yeah. That movie,
I'll have to take your word
that
for
movie had like, you're a loose cannon. I'm assigning you a partner. No, I work alone. And I still like the movie.
I was gonna say and maybe it's just I like that genre.
I do too. That's why it didn't bother me. That's why I was like
the heist genre I'm not a big fan of, so that's why it's just kind of like,
get yeah. Okay, if you don't like heist movies, then
well, I don't dislike them. I guess I just
Yeah.
Eh.
When you throw one, it's one of those genres where there's a lot of them I like, but you throw one out there that's refreshing to me. In this movie's case, robbing Vegas during a zombie like thing, I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Now that setup was great. I liked how that setup was refreshing. You know, I don't think I've ever seen or heard of a heist movie where you had to, you know, it's usually rob a bank or something like that. Never rob Vegas, you know.
Well, there was a Resident Evil movie that was in Vegas. Don't remember if they were robbing anything. They probably were. I haven't seen that in a long time. That one was more like Mad Max.
Yeah, they were robbing moviegoers.
Whatever. I got my money's worth on those movies, even the ones I didn't like. I'm like, I knew what I was getting into. I can't complain. Make another one. I'm sure I'll see it too. I'm not sure what's coming out next week. Well, there's that Bollywood movie that's playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should go see that. Like it's
yeah.
that's playing over at the Cantera. This is just playing. If this is playing in a theater like Army of the Dead, I recommend going to see it because it's out in theaters a week before it's on Netflix. And in that regard, way better movie than Hillbilly Elegy, which we also remember we saw that a week before it hit Netflix.
Yes.
This movie had way better makeup.
Yes.
It was paced a lot better too, and it was more realistic.
What?
I buy everything in this movie more so than I buy that guy sweating bullets about how to use silverware.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
This movie makes more sense to me. Alright, well, maybe we'll check out the Bollywood movie and whatever. I'm not sure what comes out next week, but we'll see you then. Take care.